Are you thinking about becoming a mortgage broker in the state of California with the higher income potential or the ability to expand your existing business? It is a great move. But here's something that makes it a little bit challenging. California has two different licensing authorities, and choosing the wrong one can slow down your business before it even starts. In this video, I'm going to walk you through the exact steps to getting your California mortgage broker license and how to get your business launched and off the ground right away. And stick around because at the end, I'm going to share how you can fast track this process, avoid costly mistakes, and I'm going to pull up the checklist for both of these two agencies. And if you want to skip this video and you just want to get help right away setting up your California mortgage brokerage, click the link down in the description to schedule a call with myself. I'm Megan Marsh, a 20-year mortgage broker veteran. Now I empower loan officers and real estate professionals on setting up their own mortgage business. So let's talk about why becoming a mortgage broker in California. And it's because California is one of the best places to be a mortgage broker in the whole country. And the reason is, first of all, there's a really high income potential. The loan values in California are some of the highest in the country, and closing one loan in California is equivalent to closing 2 or 3 loans in lower cost states like my home state of Pennsylvania. Independence, you get to build your own business, set your own income goals, and hire your own team. And if you own an ancillary business like a real estate brokerage, you can really start building your one-stop shop. Now, if you're in real estate, mortgage, I believe, is the best ancillary business to add, especially in California. And that's because when you're working with a client, the next step is mortgage, then insurance, then title. So if you really want to create that ultimate experience for your buyers, it all really flows into first mortgage. There's also flexibility. So unlike working at a bank, as a broker, it's the one way you can own the business. If you go to a bank or a retail lender, you're a W-2 employee. But as a broker, you can have true ownership of the business. You can work with multiple lenders. You can find the best deals for your clients. It is really the way to control your business. One of the biggest mistakes that people make when getting licensed in California is choosing the wrong licensing agency and following the wrong authority. California is the only state where there are 2 agencies that can help you. And this does screw a lot of people up. First, there's the DRE, which is the Department of Real Estate. And this option, this agency is best for real estate brokers and loan officers if you want a path that doesn't require as much money to get started. It requires a real estate broker license. So you have to have the sales license and have passed the real estate broker test. Now, there's no net worth requirement. The checklist is like 5 items long, not very hard. And the approval process, honestly, in our experience, only takes about 5 to 8 weeks. In this option, you can pay your loan officers $10.99, whereas once we move over to the DFPI route, there's a lot more restrictions, a longer time frame. Remember, you have to pass the real estate broker's exam and the NMLS SAFE exam to have the DRE be the licensing agency who approves your mortgage brokerage. Now, the second agency is DFPI, which is the Department of Financial Protection and Innovation. And this is best for entrepreneurs without a real estate license. And you don't want to go down that path. If you're going to use DFPI, it requires an individual NMLS license and then a company NMLS license, as well as it has net worth requirements that have to be in the business bank account to be able to open. There's compliance and financial requirements when submitting your application to the state, and the approval can take up to 9 months. Keep that in mind when you are thinking which route you're going to need to take. So which one should you choose? If you already have a real estate sales license, go get your broker's license so that you can also go apply for the mortgage broker license and combine them together. Go with DRE for the easier process. If you're starting from scratch and you're a loan officer with an NMLS license, DFPI might be your only option unless you want to go and pass the 2 real estate exams, right? But you don't have to pass them if you go with DFPI. So now let's walk step by step how to get your California mortgage broker license, because it doesn't take any additional tests, right? As long as you're not getting the real estate broker one, Doesn't take any other mortgage test if you already have your individual NMLS. But there are some starting requirements. You have to be at least 18, no major criminal offenses related to fraud or finance. You have to make sure that you have completed your 20-hour pre-licensing education, you've passed the exam, you have an NMLS number. And then if you didn't, you have to go and take the 20-hour pre-licensing education. So once you've done that, which is on mortgage laws, ethics, loan origination practices, and you can do this online. Once you pass that exam, then you are able to go and apply to open your mortgage brokerage. And that applies to either one of the agencies. You have to have, someone in the company has to have their individual NMLS license. You'll choose your licensing path, DRE, DFPI. We will go look at a comparison here before we log off. Now you need to register your mortgage brokerage business. You need to form an LLC or a corporation. And then you need to get that EIN from the IRS. You're going to have to open up a business bank account. You're going to need to register with California's Secretary of State. And remember, if you're applying through DFPI, you are most likely going to need to show $50,000 in liquid cash in your business bank account, but you're still going to need to have proof of your net worth by an accountant. After you've done all the steps on the checklist we're going to look at and the ones I just stated, you're going to submit your mortgage broker license application and you're going to pay the applicable fees to get your company approved. Now, one of the areas that these two agencies are vastly different are in the amount of money that you're going to need to have and how much your net worth needs to be. If you're going with DFPI, their net worth requirement is $250,000 if you're starting up your mortgage brokerage in California. That doesn't mean you have to have it all in your bank account, but you need to prove that you have a net worth personally, and they will require you to deposit a certain amount of that into your new business bank account. Under DRE, it does not have that same requirement, making it much easier based on net worth and cash requirements on hand. Now, in addition to the net worth and cash on hand, just like any other state that you're getting licensed in, you're going to need to purchase a bond. And your bond amount that you pay is going to be based on how much you currently originate, what your credit score is, but I would estimate somewhere between $500 to $1,000 for your bond. You're going to have an NMLS processing fee of about $100, and then the state of California, depending on the agency, is going to charge you as well. It's between about $500 to $750 to do this. If you need to file an LLC, I would estimate about $1,000. Once again, getting your California mortgage broker approval is much easier if you have someone like our team at CoLab Broker Concierge helping you through this process and navigating which way is going to be easier for you. I'm going to take you over. I'm going to show you some of the differences in the checklists between these two agencies. So what you're looking at here is the DRE's checklist. And the DRE starts right here, Department of Real Estate. It requires that you get your NMLS by taking the test, you get the background check, that you have a registered and a qualified agent, and if you have a DBA that you're using, and a control person is anyone who has more than 10% in ownership. Now, DFPI, I didn't open the first page, but this is the third page of the 8-page checklist where it wants DBAs, financial statements, where you have to prove they have a net worth of $250,000, unless licensed as a broker only, then requirement is $50,000. For applicants not engaged in the business of residential lending or brokering, the minimum net worth is $25,000. Certificate of good standing, organizational chart, management chart, your surety bond, a customer authorization for disclosure of financial records, a designated email, qualified individual, an MU2, NMLS individual MU2 form for whoever that sponsored individual is going to be, and then any affiliates and subsidiaries. So hopefully this has given you a high-level overview of being able to apply to add or start a mortgage brokerage in the state of California. And for all of you that are loan officers and you don't want to open a mortgage brokerage, or maybe you're not sure if you want to open a mortgage brokerage, reach out to me, schedule a time to talk, and I can connect you with a great mortgage brokerage where you won't need to do the steps we went through in this video. You just need to get sponsored by a mortgage broker where you can start closing loans. And if you specifically want to work for a DRE or a DFPI mortgage broker, that is where we can help you connect with the right team in the right place. Otherwise, I hope you found this video helpful. If it did, please do me a huge favor. Hit the subscribe button, hit the bell so you get notified each time I release videos on how to run and how to open your mortgage broker business. I appreciate everyone who took the time to be here today. If you still have questions, please put them down in the comments. I always say if you have them, someone else has those same questions too. Otherwise, I will see you guys next week for our next video on how to run and open your mortgage broker business.